Hello, 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 and welcome. Okay, welcome. We are live on Instagram, and we are live on YouTube. Okay, so let me do a quick disclaimer. I apologize. My voice is a little cracked this week. It's been a very stressful week, but I will still bring you juicy content irrespective of that. Let's help you. Content irrespective. Last week, no, over the last 3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, we started talking about the Federal Skilled Trades Program through the Express Entry, and we've been able to cover three streams so far. We've done the trades occupation, we've done the transport occupation, we've done the agric stream, and today we will be talking about the healthcare stream. So this is different from the caregiver, which is like the general caregiver stream that Canada has for immigrating to Canada. This is under the trade skills, and it's the healthcare stream. It does cover a lot more. I mean, so caregiver is like streamlined. It's caregiver, somebody who has a child that they need to provide care for, and then you go be that. But this is different. This is like healthcare, like everybody healthcare with a bit of definition. So we will be bringing that definition into it today. So pretty much like I would do is to first help you understand what is the requirement for this healthcare occupation. Similar to all other trades, is that you have 6 months full-time experience, continuous work experience, or an equal amount of time part-time. So it's either you worked full-time for the last 6 months or part-time that comes together to make a total of that number of hours that 6 months full-time is. So working 40 hours a week for the past 6 months is what it means to have worked full time. Full time is 40 hours of work per week. Well, 40 hours per week. So, is that you have that work experience in the last 3 years. So, unlike what federal skills used to be like 5 years span, 2 years work experience, and 5 years span, this is a 6 month work experience in the last 3 years, right? Again, it can either be full time or part-time. It's also that it's in a single occupation. Like we've said in the last three occupations that we talked about, it's not that, oh, I was a nurse and then I was a physiotherapist and then I was a lab attendant. No, it's that, okay, I was a nurse, I have been a nurse for the past 6 months, or I have been working as a nurse over the last 9 months part-time, that equals to that 6 month hours of work, right? We have that. Okay. And again, it doesn't matter where your experience has been. It can either have been in Canada or outside Canada, so there's no restriction to that location where you have worked. Okay, so now we come to the juicy part, is that which NOCs qualify to be under the healthcare. And this is very interesting. I have quite a long list of NOCs, so I might not be able to delve into it like I did for the agric stream, which had only three. Like this one has over 30. So I'm just going to read them out. So there's the audiologist and speech language pathologist, NOC 31112. Again, like I always say, you need to find more information by yourself. You need to dig deeper into this. So go use the NOC link, go to the NOC website, find out the responsibility under each of these NOCs and see if what you currently do qualifies under any of the NOC. So audiologist and speech language pathologist, the chiropractors, it's the NOC 31201. Then there's the dentist, 31110. dietitian and nutritionist. Yes. So you know anybody who is a trained dietitian or licensed dietitian or nutritionist, yes, they fall under this category. The NOC is 31121. Educational counselors 41320. Then there's the general practitioners and the family physicians, the 31102. Then you have instructors of persons with disabilities. So this is like really wide. That NOC is 42203. Then the kinesiologist and other professional occupation in therapy and assessment 31204. Licensed practical nurses 32101. Massage therapist 32201. So you know somebody who's a massage therapist, yes, they do qualify. Then there's the medical laboratory assistant and related technical occupations 33101. Medical laboratory technologist 32120. Medical radiation technologist 32121. Medical sonographers 32122. Nurse aides, orderlies, and patient service associates 33102. Nurse practitioners 31302. Nursing coordinators and supervisors 31300. Occupational therapist 31203. Optometrist 31111. Other assisting occupation in support of health services 33109. And then we have other practitioners of natural healing. So if you know anybody who I don't want to say all those people who sell bubonishe and all whatnot in your bus, they are 32209. Yeah, you can reach out to them and let them know there might be something for them here that they need to look at. Other professional occupation in health, diagnosing and treating, other technical occupations in therapy and assessments 32109, paramedical occupations 32102, pharmacy technical assistant and pharmacy assistant. So you know somebody who works at a pharmacy who assists the pharmacist while like the pharmacist is there, and then you have all those people who help them through, right? Those are 33103. Physician assistants, midwives, and allied health professionals. Yeah, 31303. Physiotherapists 31202. Psychologists 31200. Registered nurses and registered psychiatric nurses 31301. Respiratory therapist, clinical perfusionist, and cardiopulmonary technologist. I have no idea what that means. It's 32103. But just in case you know anybody who, like the respiratory therapists, they help people with the breathing. I mean, you can go check the NOC and see what that looks like for you in terms of duties. Then the specialist in clinical and laboratory medicine 31100. Specialist in surgery 31101. Therapist in counseling and related specialized therapies 41301. Traditional Chinese medicine practitioner and acupuncturist 32200. And veterinarians. So just in case you know somebody who's a veterinary doctor, yes, they do qualify. The NOC is 31103. So you see, I said it was a long list. There, however, two NOCs that I want to delve a little into. And because, like most people, say, oh, okay, I work in the hospital, I'm not a nurse, I'm not worth, but I do work in a hospital, and I would like to know if my NOC actually qualifies. It's the 33109, other assisting occupation in support of health services. So yes, you're not a doctor, you're not a nurse, you're not a therapist, but you work in an hospital and you want to know if you qualify. So on this particular NOC, other assisting occupations in support of health services, 33109, some of the things that qualify will be the audiometric assistant, audiometric technician, autopsy assistant. So if you know somebody who helps when the an autopsy is being carried out, or blood donor clinic assistant. So people who work at the blood clinic, right? Cast room technician, all those people who work when somebody is getting a cast, like if you broke your leg and you need to go get a cast, all those people who work there, right? Chiropractic assistant, clinical laboratory helper, ophthalmic assistant, ophthalmic laboratory technician, ophthalmic lens grinder, ophthalmologist assistant, optical laboratory assistant. So you see, like that kind of like blows it wider. You don't necessarily have to be the ophthalmologist, but you know somebody who works at the ophthalmologist clinic, like all those people who help with, getting glasses done. Maybe even um those guys who run tests for us on the roadside, because they do run tests, right? So they can be the assistant and they go help you get your glasses. So those kind of people, yes, they will qualify. Optometrist assistant, orthopedic technologists, sterile processing technicians. Like you work in a hospital, you help keep the place sterile. And I can say that because yes, I mean much more than just the titles. I did look at the main duties, and I'm not going to be able to read all of their duties, but yes, all those duties are actually covered in it. So, like I said, the second NOC I wanted to also delve into will be the um, other profession, other professional occupation in health diagnosing and treating. So you don't necessarily be the one to do the work, but you help when people are being diagnosed. So like food specialists, podiatrists, um, like all those special doctors, doctor of podiatric medicine, doctor of osteopathic medicine. Yeah, I mean, like they do help when they help in diagnosing people or in their treatment. But I mean, they're not family doctors, they're not family physicians. Yeah, those kind of people, right? Okay, so those are the NOCs. So, and I said that to say that, look, if something rings a bell, if it looks like, oh, I'm in the healthcare, you want to look deeper into this. I might not be able to bring all the information to you. Send us a DM, like I always say, if you want us to give you further information or you want us to dig deeper into something for you, and we would be glad to do that. Right. So those are the NOCs that are covered. Again, I always like to end with statistics, and I have like three major statistics that I want to end with. First of all is, so as it goes, currently in Canada, and I'm just gonna touch a little bit on some of those provinces, right? Healthcare employment is distributed, according to population. In Ontario right now is sitting at 37%. In Quebec, it's about 22%. In British Columbia, it's sitting at about 14%, 12% in Alberta, and 50% in the remaining provinces. So just in case you're wondering where can I go to, where would I be needed, those are some of the provinces, like that are really high. The second thing I wanted to talk about is like so sometime towards the end of last year, one of those provinces, I will not mention their name, was actually seeking to start poaching people from other provinces, poaching healthcare worker. And I'm saying, I mean, I bring all of this information to say, look, healthcare in Canada is really, really, really at an all-time high. Like we really do need healthcare workers. So that is part of the reasons why this specific stream was created. And it would interest you to know that unlike all the other streams, that we read, where you see maybe, oh, okay, 1,000 people were nominated or got an ITA, got invitation. Healthcare is kind of like different. So again, a little bit of background. The general federal skills was stopped in 2022. By 2023, in the June of 28, only 500 invitations were issued out, and the lowest CRS score for that was 476. However, roughly like a week after, July 6th, I mean, this is June 28th to July 6th, maybe less than 2 weeks after, another draw was done, and 1,500 invitations were issued, and the lowest ranking score was 463. Now, still in the same 2023, October, 3,600 invitations was issued out strictly for healthcare practitioners, strictly for healthcare occupations, strictly for this healthcare, all these NOCs that I have read out this afternoon, this evening, whatever time it is that you're watching this video. And their lowest ranking score was 431. So it's like less people are there, although Canada does need more people. So they're issuing more ITAs, more invitation, and then the people who qualify, the ranking is coming lower and lower. Behold, in 2024, one draw has already been done as of February, which tells me that there's a chance to get maybe one more or two more, depending on what the country looks like, right? But in that one single draw that was done in February, 3,500 invitations was issued. 3,005, guys. 3,005. And the lowest ranking score is 422. And the reason I keep mentioning the lowest ranking score is I know that for some people it's age, for some people it's maybe the IELTS, for some people it's the fact that, oh, this is all the qualification that I have. But I'm saying, look, at 422, that's not something that you cannot match. That's not something that you cannot achieve. Just look at the metrics again. Look at what you can do to improve your score. Is it French? Is it English? Is it whatever it is that you need to do to improve your score, to be sure that, if you fall under any of this category, you can rank at least and be able to get an invitation. And again, to say this is strictly for healthcare. So it's not like you're in the pool with everybody, all the pilots, all the admin, all the everybody. No, this is strictly for healthcare occupation. Okay, that is where I will be drawing the curtain today. Like I said, it's a little different from caregivers. We have done the caregiver stream sometime back. If you missed it, then please look through all of our previous videos. You'll be able to find them. It is clearly labeled there. Just check under immigration yarns and you will see the caregiver stream. We dealt with that sometime back. So um, next week we will be talking about the French speaking people, and I'm we'll probably do a two-part series because Canada recently, in a couple of weeks ago, released that they were bringing another stream separate from this trade occupation. This French we're talking about is under the trade occupation, but this is separate again to say, okay, the francophone. There's going to be a francophone immigration stream launching in the fall, so we'll probably do 2 weeks back to back and talk about the francophone and then the French speaking people under the trade, so that it brings more context to you. So if you need to go learn French, please go do justice to that. Okay, like I said, this is where we'll be drawing the curtain. Same time next week, 12 o'clock, 8 p.m. Nigerian time, whatever time that translates to you. It's 12 o'clock Mountain time, whatever that translates to you, and I will see you here again. So bye for now.